Hello, this is Mark Koopman, and I am going to be reviewing the evaluation cycle and improvement culture that goes along with the evaluation process that we use at our school. The one that we use, what's it about, or what's this going to be about? We're going to talk about the current evaluation system that we have in place, its usefulness, some of its strengths and weaknesses, as well as any areas that we feel that we need to improve upon. So let's dig into it. Currently, we are utilizing what is known as the RANDA system. It is a national system of evaluations. We use it here in Colorado as our state model. It has within it rubrics set up for teachers to meet so they know what goals they have. We can look at students measuring student learning and student outcomes, whether that's an assessment or a project. And then we have the teachers receive a final effectiveness rating, telling us how effective they were at their craft this year. What's nice about the system is that it also can be looked at by not just the principals of the building, but also the district leadership. And again, they can take that feedback and use it to develop professional development within not just the school building, but within the entire district. So our RANDA, as it is, our building, it's very subjective to the leadership of that building. So if our principal is a very hard evaluator, scores will be quite low. If your principal is loose and likes to promote teachers and promote them trying new things, then your scores could be very high. Depends on how strict or how loose they are with the scoring. Every year the training could look a little bit differently. And of course, every building has a different focus. So you could look at either a special program or if you have an academy, those also come into play. Data, of course, it's not just from this year. We as a district look at last year's student data as far as how they did on tests like the PSAT, the SAT, and we compile that as part of your next year's evaluation. A little bit difficult for teachers to follow sometimes. The fact that they're getting graded on what happened last year in this year's evaluation. And then what it does is, again, it just culminates in a category of skill that's associated with the score. And it's all based on if you're a first, second, or third year teacher, what we call probationary teachers, you get one semester, one evaluation each semester, and one formal walkthrough each semester. Whereas if you are a teacher that has been in the district for more than 3 years, what we call non-probationary teachers, you can get one evaluation and one walkthrough during the year at any time, and your evaluation is done. So some things that we need to address there. So some things to think about when we go into our evaluations. What is it that we want to know ourselves? What, as the leaders of the building, do we want to know about that teacher or what it is that they're going to be doing? What skills do they focus on? And then what should they be able to do? If once I evaluate them, is there an expectation of that teacher growing, of them doing something different than they've already done? And again, what role do I play in that? And then how do we expect that to change? So the teachers are asking, how am I doing? Am I getting the guidance? Do I have similar skills as other teachers? How do I behave differently or plan differently if my evaluation isn't going well? And again, they know it's a snapshot in time. It's not a continual evaluation. It's one snapshot, one day on a formal evaluation, and then it's one day on a walkthrough, and that's it. We teach 151 days in our district, but our teachers can be evaluated on 2 of those days and be done for the year. And again, how am I doing? Well, we have to inspect what we expect. Is that good or bad? What are the strengths? Well, I think some of the things it does well, it has a rubric so that teachers can, again, look at what's expected at different levels and reach for those goals. It tracks the data. It builds data into conversations. Teachers can provide proof of what they've done in their classes so that their scores may go up. Teachers are also very familiar with the language. We've used it now for about 4 years. And even that, it's accepted across the entire state of Colorado. So if I go from a big school to a small school, it doesn't matter. Everyone is speaking the same language. But where it falls short at is that our teachers tend to watch their scores, how they do in those evaluations. If they have a high score one year, like a 720, the next year they might drop to a 580 and still be effective, but they want to know why their points dropped. So that creates some conversations, sometimes difficult ones. Student data, as I said, can be used from one year to the next. Again, one formal versus one informal observation. But the data is not mandatory. They don't have to supply extra archival information. It doesn't address any personal growth. If I've gone to classes, if I've taken on college courses, that's not part of my evaluation because it didn't happen within the snapshot of that day. So teachers would have to provide archival data for us to grade that in a way that goes into the rubric. And then again, there's only one observer needed. As one observer, I may look at a teacher one way in the social studies department, but if someone else came in and looked at it, they may see it differently. So I think that's a weakness that we need to look at. So how do we improve on that? I think we need to train our district administrators for their observation techniques. I think we need to come up with some common language about what it is that we grade. The teachers have to want to improve. Once a teacher hits so many years of this, it becomes just the same old thing, and now they don't have a need to improve any. So again, the feedback I think needs to be quicker. If I can observe a teacher one time in September and not have to turn it in until May, how do I know that they grew from September to May? I think that's a an improvement we need to look at. Differentiated tools. Our teachers can literally be compared to everyone else using the same rubric. We compare counselors to regular ed teachers to special ed teachers to Title I. They all get the same rubric, and I think that's a fault of the system as well. And then again, my fix to that: take out the scoring. Use the categories. There's 4 categories you can fall into. Just use the categories. Take out the scoring so we're not chasing numbers. That's my idea when it comes to our RANDA evaluation system and how we might be able to continually improve if we update a little bit more, we provide more feedback more than one time a year throughout this course of the semester. So again, that's what I think is going to be good for our school and how we can continuously improve using observation and evaluations. Thank you.